on the information in any of the applications or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer.
Thank you.
And also this session is being recorded, so all of our seniors will be able to view it on our channel later on. Okay.
All right. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. But without further ado, the floor is yours.
All right. Let me share my screen then. All right, everyone. So I am Kristin Sampson, Dr. Kristin Sampson of Innovative Touch Realty, and we are presenting today from a real estate perspective as it relates to 55 and older community living. So today we're going to share a little bit about our company, about ourselves individually, Rashi and I, and then highlight some real estate options available to those 55 and older in the DC and metropolitan area. So Innovative Touch Realty, we're a real estate brokerage located in the Washington, D.C. area. We have our main office in Prince George's County, but we're licensed in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, and all of our agents are residents of Maryland, D.C., or Virginia. And we pride ourselves in being in touch with current and emerging trends, ongoing education, and community engagement. So we use real estate as a vehicle to do those things. Our hope is to be a beacon of ethics in our community. We know there can be a lot of distrust in regards to real estate practices and realtors, and we want to kind of dispel that distrust. And we strive to do so by being completely transparent, by practicing extreme advocacy, and really having a commitment to care and education to our clients so that everybody knows what's going on in the real estate world and your particular real estate transaction, and also provide any opportunities for generational wealth and financial stability. So a little bit about myself, that's me. Had my hair a little different then. But I'm Dr. Kristin Sampson. I was a middle school teacher and principal. Real estate is my family business. My husband sold me my house over 13 years ago. And I've been involved and engaged in real estate ever since then as an adult, but it's been a part of my family's life. Both of my grandparents, one of my grandparents built his house and a house for his children, as well as my mother's side of the family, both homeowners, and landowners. And it's something that's really important to me and my family. I'm a native of gorgeous Prince George's County and own property in Washington, D.C., and Maryland and Virginia. And it's just really important for me to highlight the best of our community and really for people to understand the community that they are purchasing in, and that when people sell their home, that they're leaving their home in great hands. And then Rashi is going to come on and speak a little bit about himself. Where are you, Rashi? Let me move forward. Okay, there you go.
My picture's a little blurry. I like your picture better, Kristin. Great day, everybody. Again, my name is Rashi. I'm glad that everybody came out and had time, consideration to sit down with us on this rainy day before the holidays. I hope this message finds everybody well. Again, right there, that's a nice picture of myself with a blue suit on. One of my favorite colors is blue. Again, Rashi Givens, licensed in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. As it says, I'm a seasoned realtor licensed in Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Virginia. I'm from this area, born and raised. I love the area. Um, I've excelled in competitive landscape of real estate, established a reputation as a well-respected, innovative, and effective agent. Before I got into real estate, did a lot of things. I consider myself a Renaissance man. I was actually, like I said, in service as far as doing mentoring work with youth. Definitely a youth advocate and then doing different things in counseling and in psychology. So kind of found my way to real estate and have a passion for service, just to assist people. And that's why this kind of meeting that your lovely team is set up with this, as far as you guys, I'm very passionate about just assisting others. DC, Maryland kind of area right now, seeing kind of a lot of changes. So I'm very passionate about service and assisting people. And that's what's kind of brought us here to talk to you about just the options that 55 and older seniors that people have available to them. Like I said, there's a lot of just changing things that's going on in DC right now. So just kind of be of service and to be of assistance, to anyone. If you have any questions, like I said, we're going to go over some information for you today. And if you have any questions later on, like I said, we'll be able to answer those and just to help people out. I know it's a lot of different things, like I said, that's going on in the DC area. So as Kristin said, just real estate is can be a little tricky. So the more information you have, just be able to give you options and be able to navigate. A lot of times people are taking advantage of seniors, of elderly people, and coming and doing all different type of things. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way the world is coming to. So we're here to kind of, like I say, just like the company that you're working with, just to be an assistance and a help. So.
Right. Thank you, Rashi. And thank you, Ms. Taylor, for the warm welcome. And when I jumped on, I wasn't ready. I was like, oh, everybody was engaged in a lively conversation. So although we are asking for questions at the end, if you want to raise your hand, like Alex said earlier, we want to keep that energy going. I was the teacher, so I gotta bring the energy to the presentation. And I hope that it is engaging for you. And Rashi.
So again, like I was saying, we specialize in helping members in the 55 communities with real estate needs. Specialize in that. We work with a lot of seniors, elderly, 55 and older, as far as to achieve that, as far as in the different stages. Be that if you're owning a home and you want to sell your home, purchase a new property. It's all different as far as levels that we're going to go through, as far as with assisted living, and as far as apartments, as far as just different things, income considered properties, apartments in the DC area. So we're specialized and have information as far as DC and even in PG County, Montgomery County as well. So just kind of giving you information on your options that you do have.
Absolutely. So we both this year have assisted quite a few clients that represent, 55 and older is very broad, right? So completely different walks of life, different levels of engagement. This is the lively crew. So, some very robust population that reflect 55 and older. And on that spectrum, we have assistant homeowners in selling their homes, moving to active communities, condos, apartments, like Rashi said. So we're going to highlight some of those. But we want to make sure that we're also providing some definitions and a rubric so that you can easily kind of follow along and understand the language that we're using so that it's interpreted correctly and so that we're using the same language. So the first is the difference between condominium and apartment and how we will reference it in today's presentation. So in regards to a condominium, when we say condo in this presentation, we mean owning your unit, your property. So, for example, some condo communities look like high rises, some look as detached homes, semi-attached homes, and townhomes. So someone may look at a building and say that looks like an apartment building, when indeed it is a condominium building because the residents there own their unit. So condo can mean different things. And so when we say condo, we mean that you own your unit, you pay a fee. Those fees help with the exterior maintenance. So no more lawn care, snow shoveling. We haven't had snow in a while, but they're predicting it for this year. Snow shoveling. The exterior maintenance is usually included in those condo fees, and that's one of the benefits of condominium ownership. And then there are the tax benefits that you're still able to deduct the mortgage interest as well as property taxes. And the equity units are scarce, so there are often, I don't believe I know of any condominium 55 and older community that has not opened with the waiting list. So from the moment they open until the continuum, there's always a need, so you don't really have to worry about your condo selling. It's a matter of when it sells, because it's going to sell in all the cases that I have seen. And you have the control in ownership. And so you also have that fixed rate. Now the condo fees may change, but that fixed rate is there. And I see a question from Mr. Harold.
Oh, did you want to say that until the end, Kristin?
Okay, so if we can just make note of Mr. Harold's question.
Oh yeah,
on-
his hand
on
will
the
be up
side.
this whole time.
Okay,
So
great.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Alex. And so that is how we reference condominium ownership versus an apartment ownership, which Rashi will give the definition that we would use for purposes of this presentation.
So I appreciate that, Kristin. So apartment ownership, much like she said, and just like I said, kind of giving you guys information and options, and knowing that you do have flexibility. Everybody doesn't want to own. Always say that, like, if you can be a renter, you could be owner. There's definitely benefits to both. One of the some benefits of apartments, flexibility. Some communities offer transition to assisted living and memory care. So you have apartments where pretty much you can kind of, as you come in, they kind of meet you where you are. Some people, as far as you come in, like she said, 55 is young nowadays. But you know, some people health may be a little bit as far as better than others. And so you can have, as far as primary living assistance. So you can have assistance as well as it goes up. Let's say if you have some accident and a hip replacement or something, it's flexible where you'll be able to get that care that you need. Also memory care, so as you get older in age, different things that may happen. You can have different things as far as dealing with, as far as food, you know, can do meal preparations. You can have a physical therapist come in. It's all different type of things you have. They have different things that I like to, as far as my grandma actually just moved to a home, assisted living home in PG County, and she's very, as far as adamant about just like, I can do things myself. So it comes in where she can move in and she doesn't really need any help. But as far as she gets old and different things come apart, she can kind of go to that level where, as far as, like I said, can do kind of the assistant living, and as far as just different care. So we have the memory care. Also with apartments, you have the tax benefits. No property tax liability as far as what will come with a condominium. For apartment, you have to worry about any of the property tax and different things like that. And it's less financial risk. Of course, with owning, you have a low financial risk, but with apartments, you don't have to worry about any of that. So, and it's less influenced by the market. There are quite a few apartments in the area of DC. So it kind of depends on what area you would like to be in. Quite a few in Northeast, Northwest has quite a few. I'm in the Northeast area, so actually right in my area, they have a kind of 2 or 3, kind of some new ones too. Right off Kenilworth 295, they have a few, and a marketplace right by Costco. So it kind of depends on what you guys want. You may have family in the area. You might want to be closer to family. You may have different as far as grocery stores that you might want to frequent. So just a lot of different flexibility when it comes to apartments. And of course, another difference is you can kind of switch up. If you're not happy with this place, you can switch up and change something that you can't do in condominiums. And I also like to speak about, as far as going in and kind of seeing the spot and being able to kind of get in and get a feel. I say everyone's different. My grandmother, she wanted a certain type of property. That might be good for her, but may not be good for someone else. So just kind of the options and the flexibility you have and going and seeing the properties. I know another client I was working with, she just liked to be, as far as the entertainment and like the events, where one property had just different dances. They had card nights for playing spades. They had just different type of events that she liked and she was definitely interested in. So you definitely have a lot of options and something that fits you. So.
All right, thank you, Rashi. And then the last term that we're going to use is called aging in place. So initially, and Ms. Doris, we have you noted as well. Thank you for your hand. Aging in place is allows you to be familiar with your neighborhood. You don't have issues in moving. You have the tax benefit, the equity, and the control and ownership. So I will reference aging in place two ways. So aging in place, meaning staying where you are, literally like the home that you live in right now, as well as aging in place within an apartment community, like Rashi mentioned. So you can age in place once you move to one of those apartment communities where you don't have to worry about moving again as you have like those different changes in life. And I'm saying you, but I'm saying you at, very broadly, not you specifically, but for this information for yourself or for whomever you are sharing it with. So, you know, you may have somebody in mind that you want to share this information with as well. All right, so the other thing I wanted to go over, we thought it might be best to have a rubric. And again, this may be the teacher in me, but sometimes it's helpful to have like a rubric with little icons that can reflect different prices. So for the next few slides, where you see the $1 sign, that is we're describing a property that's income-based. In Washington, D.C., for the most part, a lot of the income-based properties are no more than 30% of your monthly income. So for some of these properties that we highlight, they are income-based, so it makes it more cost-effective. Then when you see the $2 signs, those are properties that are around $2,000 to $3,700 a month. The $3 sign is about $4,000 a month. And then once we get into the $4 sign, we'll see around $5,000 to $6,000 a month. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, whoa, like these are some big numbers. And they're big numbers for anyone. We're not just talking about 55 and over, we're talking about anyone, any member of the population. It can be intimidating. However, these are reflective of inflation prices. So for example, if you live in a home that you own and you sell it, then you are benefiting from the standard inflation rate. So for instance, my parents' home that they bought for, I believe, $12,000 and, you know, many over 30 years ago, now has the equity in it where if we decided to sell it, we could sell it for $400,000. And so just as you would benefit from the sale of your home and benefit with the proceeds, then it's reflective as well in what you would pay. And there are different ways, creative ways that you can pay for some of these homes. And then some of them also include services that you will be paying for a la carte anyway. So some of the things that Rashi mentioned with having like the living aid or having the laundry care for those who do own homes, and you have to pay for the exterior maintenance. You have to pay for your furnace. You have to pay for the filter, for the chimney care, for the roof, for the lawn, you're not paying for any of that because all of that is included in a one price. So one thing that we do often suggest is really itemize, if you are a homeowner, all of those little expenses that do add up per year that's associated with maintaining a home, and then dividing it by 12 and then adding that on to the payment, and you could kind of see where it goes. But if you have some specific questions for your specific needs, we are available afterwards for individual consultation. But this is just a reference size so you could kind of get an idea of how much it costs for some of the slides that we'll present moving forward. Okay, so then next, again, we kind of mentioned these three communities that we're highlighting: the income considered, the 55 and older condo community, and the 55 and older apartments. And then those price tags will kind of be in the bottom of each of them. So we're halfway through. So the first, income considered community, Rashi is going to give a little blurb about that.
Appreciate that, Kristin. So yes, income considered property. Hold on, let me click back. I have a few notes that I would like to say. And like I said, therein we not only like to specialize as far as in DC with most of people from wildlife, I'm assuming they're DC residents, but also outside of DC, Montgomery County, PG County as well. But for right now, I'm gonna kind of concentrate on DC, where we have some income producing properties. Let me see which one is that. Just an example that I have. So it's called Victory Square in Northeast of 600 Bond Street, 1 and 2 bedroom, and it's based on your income. So it's Kristin said, it's all, like I said, considered as far as your income. And like I said, this one, as far as being an apartment and rental community, might not have the luxuries of a lot of others, but definitely has, like I said, as far as a community where it's 55 and older. So you have to worry about a lot of times as far as your neighbors being up at night, kind of bothering you different things, as well as some other luxuries is have a companionship with other retirees. Don't have to deal with the upkeep and responsibilities of homeownership. And of course, like I said, the main one we see is income considered. So it's going to be on the low end as far as not as costly, which I mean, right now with inflation, a lot of different things, is definitely a benefit and something that, you know, I like. So, you know.
Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Look, I need to be in wild tech myself sometimes. Working with these slides. All right. Thank you, Rashi. So 55 or older communities, condos. So remember, the condos we're referencing in regards to ownership. And what's interesting about the 55 and older condo communities in the DC metropolitan area, now they say DMV, right? Are that many of them are outside of the city. So if you kind of think about it in the sense of someone who may live in the city and say, when I retire, I kind of wanted to move to the suburbs, or I wanted to, you know, live maybe someplace that's a little quieter. Then you have like your communities in Montgomery County, like Leisure World. Prince George's County has many 55 and older community condos, and even down in Charles County. And so some of the advantages of these condo communities is because you are often in a community that has a little bit more space, is that some of the amenities are a little different because they have the space for a pickleball court. They have a golf course. There's one in Charles County that has an apple orchard. So these are some pastimes or some things that may be attractive to people that want to live somewhere where they can own and have 2 to 3 bedrooms, and then each of those bedrooms have bathrooms and maybe a half bath or a powder room. You still are able to own. You live in a community where everyone in your community is like the same age demographic. Again, the exterior maintenance, the lawn care is included. And then you have the security as well. And each of these communities offer something different. But what's consistent is the level of care, knowing the community members and recognizing the services that may be needed, and having some influence on the options that are available for leisure time. So although these are not, they do not provide like the assistant care, with the exception of Leisure World, which has some varied degrees of amenities, to include like a MedStar. Some of the other communities might have physical therapy that could be easily scheduled for you, and those things on site, as well as the community area. And we see your hand as well, Miss Diane, Miss Leach, and we'll get to you a little later as well. And so as Rashi covers the 55 and older apartments, And let me see, wait a minute, what's going on with the, okay, apartments, yes. These are divided into the 3 sections because this is the first example that we're giving in regards to as agent in place. So this is agent in place after you move, that you oftentimes in these apartment complex communities have the option of these 3 areas, and you see the price reflective as each. So you have your independent living, which you come in, you're very social, you're very active. You might take the bus to an occasional shopping trip or to a special event. You are responsible for your own home and your own needs, but you also have the option, which is included in the payment, of having light house cleaning once a week, light laundry service once or twice a week. You have the transportation services as well. And then as an assisted living, as Rashi mentioned earlier, maybe you have a new medical need, an unexpected surgery, or just aging in life and you just don't feel like cooking. You have the option to include meals if you aren't able to cook, or if you want that option. You have the next tier up with housekeeping, with entertainment. Again, if you had a recent surgery or procedure that will require bathing assistance or medicine administration as needed, that you have those options available to you is one less thing that you will have to worry about if you are going into a planned surgery or unexpected medical need, that where you live, they are ready and willing to assist you without having to go through the hustle or bustle of trying to find somebody, or having a family member or loved one assist you in doing so. And the same with memory care. So by this time, some residents may have been living in the community for a while. You have a rapport with, the person that drives the bus. You have a rapport with your neighbors, with your community members. And so you have a level of trust with the aides that are available to live in with you. It may require moving to a different unit, but it's all confined to the same community, the same area. And the moving assistance is already included as well in most cases, or readily available. You have the 24-hour care, and all of these are explained upon signing the lease. Is often stabilized as well, which helps to make it a little more predictable. And these are all included in 55 and older apartment communities. Rashi, I'm sorry, did you have anything to add to that slide?
No, I think I kind of touched on things and you explained it very well. Appreciate that.
All right, thank you. And then lastly, aging in place. And this is aging in place without moving. So you have the option to stay where you are. And as a realtor, our job at Innovative Touch Realty is to help you find the best solution possible for you. So it would never be to haggle you to, put your house on the market, or to go to an apartment, or to go to a condo. It is absolutely finding the best solution for you, for your family, for future generations, for whatever you foresee your real estate needs as being. And if you see fit to age in place, then some of you may already be familiar of some of the opportunities that are available and some of the services available within the city. There is a nonprofit that we refer out that is Housing Counseling Services, and they've been working with the city since the 1970s. They provide orientations to better equate DC residents with some of these programs. And one of the programs that was referenced in the previous slide is a single family rehabilitation program. So those modifications of having the railing in the shower or having the chairlift for the steps, they kind of go through the process of the application and what you need to do to get that, to get those modifications made. They also offer services for rent assistance. So we are in November. So you can imagine, sometimes the programs run out of money. So as we are nearing the end of the calendar year, that particular program is out of money as of now, but it will be refunded in January. So you will want to go to this website now so that you can sign up and have your slot available to learn about the single family rehabilitation, which is coming up next week on November 28th. And then the rent assistance is that program is being refunded in January, and you can sign up for that as well. And because you all are already so tech savvy, thanks to that partnership with Wild Tech, these are virtual. So you can log on just like you log on here. And it's a webinar, and you can ask questions and familiarize yourself. It is one entry per person. So if you do have a loved one that works with you, that you trust, or a friend that wants to join you, they will have to log on and sign on themselves. And you can sign on for one program per session that's offered. All right. And so one of the things we would like to continue our partnership with Wild Tech and answer some more questions that you may have that are not specific for today's presentation, but that might involve questions such as a reverse mortgage or living wills. If this is something that sounds attractive to you and you want to learn more about possibly selling your home to get to that next stage, but you want to know more about these particular topics, then we would like, your input as regards to make sure that we're hitting the target to answer some of the questions that you have to help better answer your real estate needs. So these are just some ideas that we had moving forward. But if one speaks to you more than others, then please ask. We are not experts ourselves, but we partner with lenders that work with our clients for reverse mortgage, as well as attorneys that offer assistance as well with living wills. So we'd be happy to help. But other than that, Alex, that is the end of our presentation. We hope that it was informative and we're able to answer any questions that you may have to the best of our ability.
Yes, no, thank you so much, Kristin and Rashi. I learned a lot myself, especially some basics, like the difference between a condo and an apartment. I didn't really think of that myself. So I learned that, and just knowing more what's available, especially the webinar registration. I was able to get, or assistance with IZ and, know about their program. So as long as you attend those webinars, then you'll get the information that you need. So that's very helpful. And thank you so much for presenting this information. I did see a draft kind of list of the other topics that you wanted to talk about for maybe next time. And I think what you had was wonderful. So I would continue on with that draft that you had sent for each of the different sessions.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. And we are happy to be here. So thank you for having us.
Oh, no problem. We have about 20, 30-ish minutes for our questions. I see we have 6 hands up. Thank you all for being so patient and understanding. First up is Mr. Harold. Hi, Mr. Harold. How are you?
Hey, Alex, and the guests, Kristin and Rashi. Appreciate your presentation. I actually no longer have a question. I had a different definition of tax benefit as related to rental property. So I'm good now. I'm good.
All right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Harold. I'm glad we were able to answer that. And I would just keep this this screen right here, Kristin, so that way folks can screenshot it and take down the information.
All right.
That's wonderful. And my bad, Alex, I apologize, but I would say you have our information there, and we're always open for questions, like I said, to be of service. I know, like I said before, I spoke about my introduction myself, just a passion, some things I've seen in real estate dealing with elderly, and kind of it's been, I think it's what the world has come to. It seems like everybody's just concerned about themselves and money. And I think what, much like myself, Kristin just has a passion and just a heart to serve and to help people out, just to inform as far as the options you have available. I've had a few elderly clients who've dealt with, like you said before, the questions with reverse mortgage. And just people have been very predatory towards elderly and calling on the phone saying, look, we're going to give you this. You can do this and this and this, and it being incorrect and then being predators. So like I said, with our contact information up there, I know, like I said, I answer the phone 24/7. If you got any questions about any type of thing, any type of services, we're available to help and available to serve. So like I said, it's something I'm very passionate about. I'm actually, like I said, caregiver for my grandmother. I actually just helped my other grandmother find her property. So it can just be tough to navigate. So we're just a wealth for information and being of service.
Oh yes, no, we appreciate that. You know, we talk about scams all the time with one of our guests, even ourselves, with you know, older folks, you know, because they think that they don't understand anything, even though they may. But it's just, yeah, it kind of comes down to that. So I'm really thankful and glad that we were able to get in contact with you guys so you can discuss these things that, you know, we don't learn about in school, to be honest. So it's very helpful. So thank you so much for that. Next up is Miss Doris.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I have a couple of questions. The first of all, like if you have the apartments and the condos, do you have a list of the ones, like say for instance in the DC area?
Oh, absolutely, Miss Doris. So I actually helped my Aunt Doris move into I had two Doris clients, my aunt, and they're both very close to me, that moved into two different condo communities. So it really, I mean, there are a plethora, so it really just depends on where you want to be. Like in Prince George's County alone, there are 4.
Excuse me, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm trying to
DC?
help my brother. He want to be in DC.
In DC?
He paying $1,700 a month, was taking his whole check. He can barely eat. And I'm trying to help him to see if y'all can help him get something based on his income.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that the income-based properties might be best for him, but we can definitely have a consultation with you one-on-one. In DC, those apartment style are available, and there are a plethora around the city. Rashi, you have your list to name a few.
Correct. Yes, I do have quite a few. There are a lot in Northwest. Not too many in Southeast. Only found a couple in Southeast, but of course.
No, he like Northwest. He don't like Southeast.
Look, I understand. So they have a lot in the Northwest area as well as Northeast. I gave an example of one that does income producing. Actually, before we leave, I can give their name, the necessary, and number. But just give us a call. Like I said, it's plenty. So it's all I'll tell you, and I always like to say, what fits for one person may not fit for another. So like I said, it would be like a conversation with him. What's important for him? The area you said, not in Southeast, so Northwest or Northeast, the area, the amenities, what he's looking for, and of course the price range. So yeah, we can definitely facilitate that.
And the other question I had is, how long is the application process?
That's a good question, and that varies as well depending on the location. So what we like to do is kind of consult to get the needs as soon as possible to start the application, because many places do have waiting lists. And so once we get that can narrow down and get you on the waiting list or get him on the waiting list, then it varies based on location. So some locations, the waiting list may be a month or two, and some are closer, not quite a year, but closer. So the sooner that you can get on the list, the better.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm going to transfer the information to him so he can contact y'all.
Absolutely. We love to help, Miss Doris. I'm not going to forget your name. I know who it is.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Doris, for your question. Really appreciate that. Again, don't forget to stay on, you guys, so you can complete the poll to say how you felt about today. So thank you so much. Make sure you guys stay on. Ms. Doris, don't forget to lower your hand. Next up, we have Anne. Hi, Anne. How are you? Go ahead and unmute.
Okay, am I muted? Because my clock.
You're good. You're good, Anne.
Oh, okay. I wanted to answered one of my questions, which was about the waiver. I mean the getting a voucher. I understood. You answered that when he was talking about the rent part, but I wanted to know about when some of the places that have what do you call it, assisted living. Do they can you bring in, I mean, can you have an aide that will come in the assisted living, or do you have to use the staff that they have on the
That is another really good question, and that varies as well, because some of the assisted living facilities, because it is in a lot of cases, because the payment includes the aid, you will use their people because they've already incorporated their salary, as you would say, within the fee that you pay. But it depends. Like I believe that there are some communities where that might be optional, but I can't tell you offhand, to be honest. I would have to know like which ones you're interested in particular. So if you could ask us aside, or send us an email, or give us a little bit of time to look into it, then I can tell you more specifically which ones categorize as where you have to use their aid versus bringing in your own, because that is a really good question. It has somebody that you're already familiar with.
Well, I was thinking in terms of my godmother. She's 100, and she'll be 102 next month. In January, she'll be 102 years old. And I have a cousin who's is beginning to show signs of senility, and we have aid in the house with her. She's beginning to, and I think she's beginning to show signs of Alzheimer's. I'm sorry. I've had a bad day today. I'm sorry. I'm a little confused. And so I was concerned about that, because they those of us who are taking care of us, there's two of us that are taking care of stuff. And I'm gonna, at the rate I'm gonna be having Alzheimer's, and I'm gonna need some help, more help than I got. But I'm just trying to figure out if she has a we have people who have been used to her and have been with her since before she started showing signs of senility. And the doctor says that it's very serious condition, that we keep people that she's used to and know and talk to and recognizes for her to keep moving forward. That's why I was
you wrote down the number in the email, right, Anne? You see the numbers on the screen in the email?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to make sure you write it down before the Zoom ends
Okay.
so you can contact and so that way you can get your specific question and circumstance answered, okay?
Okay. And thank you so much. This was very informative for other people too, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. And that is an excellent question, Anne. And I would love to further research it and get back to you because I think that would benefit a lot of people and it makes absolutely good sense. And your background is beautiful. I love that butterfly in the background. And I hope that your day gets even better. You said you're having I think, it's rainy outside. We're going to bring the sunshine. And I hope that your afternoon is better than your morning.
Thank you, sweetie. I buried my grandson yesterday, so I'm a little upset. That's all.
That's absolutely
we understand, Anne.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. I was a little.
It's okay, Anne. We got you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next up is Brenda. Hi, Brenda. How are you?
Hey, hi, Alex. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Kristin or Rashi, I'm interested in knowing more information about the reverse mortgage. I get a lot of emails, a lot of correspondence about it. And, I'd like to do it, but I want to know the ins and outs and how it's going to affect my family and just know more information, if I decide to go that route. So I can contact one of you all regarding that.
You absolutely can, but now that you've provided that feedback as well, that may be our next session next month. If Alex and Wild Tech will have us back, we can provide a more detailed presentation with the lender. So we can speak on the real estate perspective, but obviously as a homeowner, you don't want to lose your equity. You want to be a good steward and you want to correspond with a trusted third party that you can might have a little more of a neutral ground. So that's the intent for that. So we definitely would look to have that as the next one. And your background, I'm not sure we're in France or Italy, but I'm loving that as well.
I think I'm in Italy.
Italy. Okay, I'll take it. Thank you, Ms. Brenda. And that's noted, the reverse mortgage. We have.
Okay, I will be there.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Appreciate it.
Sure.
I all the topics that you sent to us previously, Kristin, each session that you had the tentative outline, I think it's great. So whatever you present, I think will be very helpful.
Thank you.
Next up is Mr. Angelo.
Thank you very much, Alex. I didn't hardly recognize you with the haircut, man. Hey, thank you, everybody. The question I had, because my iPad cut out several times, I didn't catch exactly what is it? ITR, Innovative Touch Realty. Exactly what, if you function, you're helping us, right? It's like consultations or just what can we, get out of the services that you offer? And, I'm just curious.
Okay, yes. So we are a real estate brokerage and we are licensed realtors in Maryland, DC, and Virginia. So we help with any home buying or selling needs, as well as with rental properties. Rashi and I are also real estate investors. We're from Washington, DC, and surrounding areas, gorgeous Prince George's County. And and so our goal is really just not to list your house or sell you a house, but to answer any of your real estate questions or needs. You are our projected future. We're just a few years behind you all. So we think about like, you know, what our needs and our concerns would be at each stage of life, beginning with first-time homeowners. I was a teacher. I benefited from a lot of programs to purchase my home, working on a minimum salary, all the way through investment properties and all the way through latter stages of wanting to enjoy life without necessarily the maintenance or the upkeep, which is what prompted us to start this series on 55 and older communities. So we're not limited to any area of real estate. We also work in commercial real estate. We have a church in Washington, D.C. that's listed now, and helping those that family navigate selling their church. So we're just all over real estate. We love to do these community sessions such as this one that have a more focused topic and target audience to answer any questions that you have. And then if you have any further needs, then we are open to help you.
Yeah, Kristin, is there a charge for this? Is there a fee?
Charge for this? What we doing right here?
Yeah.
No, it's no charge for this. No,
for what helping us like that. Is there a fee or something?
No.
So when they call, if they were to call you, or if anyone were to call you, or that consultation is free, right? But
yes, that consultation is free. So if we get paid, our paid services are for listing and selling real estate. And that comes at the end of a real estate transaction. So it's no upfront fee for that either. That is, you know, once you get to closing, you bought your home, you sold your home, you signed the lease, all of that, that's when we get paid. But these consultations that we provide, these information sessions, they are free. And we hope that it empowers you to make the best decision possible.
Okay, I got about 2 or 3 things going on at this time. You could walk us through the process of moving into a apartment or condominium, the steps that you take. What is it? What is income based that you talked about? Income based. Condominiums or apartments. I enjoyed the differences that you all projected, and you know, you all will be able to help us with that, right?
Yes. Yep. And what we cannot answer, we will find the best community partner to assist you as well. So we're not going to leave anybody hanging, but we do want to speak on our level of service and expertise. Right. So there is another resource like the real estate community partnership that we have that just works with all of those who are interested in learning more, like the upcoming webinars. Then we will point you in those directions as well.
Okay, and it's something called affordable housing with the, what is it, the government, the DC government, or HUD, HUD, and do you all know about that? I guess you do, right?
Yes, Mr. Angelo.
Yeah, there's a website. There's a website. Is there a website that you can go to about affordable housing, such as apartments in the area within the confines of, what is it, the income? Because
there's several. It really just depends on what you're looking for. So Rashi talked about the ones specifically for 55 and older community.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, he definitely could assist you as well with providing you more information, the different quadrants of the city, and what each and then some of them are multi-generational too. So there's not limited to 55 and older residents. But yes, yep, we can, if you contact us, we can hook you up.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
the website you guys shared with the housing ETC website. Would that be helpful for Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
What is it?
I have it right here in the chat, Mr. Angelo. Go to the
Okay.
chat and the link is right there.
Okay, got you.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
You are on it.
Fantastic. All right, thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem, Mr. Angelo and Kristin.
Okay.
I'm paying attention, so
yes.
I'm just acting like I'm one of our seniors and trying to get all the links and stuff that we can. You know.
All right. All right.
So thank you, Mr. Angelo.
Okay. Thank you.
I saw a question in the chat earlier. Mr. Thompson said, "Can you explain eminent domain? Is that something you guys covered, Miss Kristin?"
Okay. No, we did not cover eminent domain, but
I don't know what it means myself. Well, I do, but I don't. So I'm not sure if that has anything to do with what you talked about today.
Okay, no, it's not one of the topics that we talked about today. But eminent domain is the process in which the government can provide a market value for a government need for your property. And so this is definitely something that some may argue could be, subjective as it regards to like what is considered a need from the government. But I mean, that is, and I'm not sure what specifications, if there's somebody that, if this is a particular case in which you have a question specifically about, the government wanting to purchase your property based on eminent domain, then I would definitely consult a real estate attorney. And we do have some relationships with real estate attorneys as well. And there are also attorneys that focus specifically on zoning in DC. So that they will probably be your best bet in regards to find out, but just the basic definition that's what it is.
Oh, well, I had no clue what it was then. So I learned something new. Would they be able to contact or email you guys with help with that? Is that what you're saying?
Sure, yes.
Okay. I think that's what it is, because, everyone's situation is going to be different, especially with housing, even with my own housing journey, everyone's is a little different. So I really just, when you can contact them and explain your situation, they'll be able to, really assist, because it seems like you guys really know what you're doing.
Yeah,
we
we have this education background, so I'm looking things up as well. So, yes, and it's good to know, because I will keep that in mind for our next presentation, to continue with like a list of terms and definitions. So like we did with the rubric, so that everyone can have it for reference and know, the language that we're using and what it means.
Awesome. I really appreciate that and all the information that you shared. Do you or Rashi have any closing remarks, any tips or anything before we go for the day?
I don't know, but Rashi, do you have anything in closing that you want to say? Oh, you on mute.
I have to ask him to unmute. He undid the co-host permission.
Look, I lost you for a second. Look, I may need some tips from Wild Tech. But I just would like to say, man, I appreciate everybody's time, consideration, and coming back, and just to kind of, again, go over, like I said, just the service and Kristin and I, to just start passion to serve and help. So, like Mr. Angelo, like I said, we don't charge anything. Just being of assistance. Like Kristin said, we're all going to age to kind of be at that range. So just kind of just being of a help and knowing there's options out there for everyone. And being of a service. I think that's one thing with Innovative Touch Realty, and being innovative and not just kind of being like some of these other, or the way the world is, just concerned about themselves and money. Just being of a service and a help and understanding and being there. So that's one thing that I love about our realty company, our brokers, something I stand behind, and something Dr. Kristin stands behind as well. So just being of assistance. So we're of assistance to you guys. So our numbers are down there. So reach out to us anytime, and glad to help, and look forward to talking again with you guys and helping you out with some other things you may have some questions or concerns about.
Oh, well, yes.
The only thing I would add is just a happy Thanksgiving. And, and we're thankful that we're here to celebrate another Thanksgiving, and thankful that you took some time out of your holiday season to jump on. It seems that you all are committed to education as well, just by logging on and learning something new. And so I appreciate that. That is super empowering and motivating. And thanks, Rashi, for partnering with me today. And thank you, Alex, for being a wonderful host, and for all of you all are doing at WowTech.
Oh, no problem, Kristin and Rashi. Mr. Harold, did you have a quick question, or did you want to say something to Kristin and Rashi?
Just curiosity. I'm taking it's not medical doctor, the PhD that Dr. Kristin is. What did you study?
Yes, so I study educational leadership and policy. My focus is STEM education. I also run a nonprofit, STEM Career Prep. And so real estate allows me the opportunity to come out of the classroom from being a principal and working those long hours to serve and advocate in a different capacity, while still being able to engage with STEM Career Prep and exposing young people to careers in STEM that are both college-led as well as technical track. So yes, it's an educational leadership and policy at George Washington University. And I also